Wednesday, number 13 day for the month of January for 2021. Today, as always, una sabi say that me I be the person where I always bring good news. All right. So every time when I hear my voice, when I see me, that means I can't give una good news. Today, we're going to talk about three important things then. We're going to go for that side for the great state of FACO, for the action where Ambazonian forces them. They carry them out for Muyuka, for Kumkumais, La République du Cameroon, they are Ekelebe. I go take una go for that side, for tell una say, the ground, it don't shake as we be promising. Then, I go take una go for the walkway, the Ambazonia Defense Forces, for show all Ambazonians, say the ADF, now the example of how every other group we dey for inside Ambazonia, how it's supposed to behave. I go take una, go for make all man, it carry your eye, and it carry your ear. Take your eye, you see them, and you take your ear, you hear. How ADF, they behave. You go see the behavior of the forces on the field, where no man need to give them instruction, no man need to coach them, no man need to tell them what for doing. You see how things they enter for the forces and how themselves they arrange them. You go understand why ADF be ADF. Then I'm going to talk about the real thing. We are talking make all we talk together. This thing we call and say collective resistance. I'm going to talk about the population, defense groups, and diaspora. These three components of our population will make up the collective resistance. Now the essence of my talk for this evening. Make we not that small music again, and then we start the conversation. I hope so the people for ACN, they're already they live. Make a check with ACN people them. If them too, they don't be ready for we. Because we don't be ready. Okay, people for ACN, they say they don't be ready for we. Diaspora. These three. All right? ACN, they say they be ready for we. ACN will check una too. Now make sure say una be ready. All right. So the people for ACN, they say they be ready for we. Make we knock that small music again for our soldier them, and then we start the story. Susanna! When shall I see my girlfriend? Susanna! When shall I see my family? Susanna! When shall I see my mother? Susanna! Oh, Susanna! Oh, Susanna! Oh, yes! Auntie Irish Boya! My fellow people, as we be promising, say the ground will shake. Ground on the shake. Today, now only number 13 day for the month of January. Ground the shake. The state of FACO the shake. The state of FACO the vibrate. Vibration the happen for the great state of FACO. Vibration the happen. All place the shake. We don't hear say the colonial state, the colonial dictator of La République du Cameroon, and their occupational government. We hear say they don't go carry their army of occupation. They don't go move someone them for northern Cameroon. They go move the one the way they don't keep them for the border between the colonial state and Central African Republic. We hear say they don't go move a lot of order, their police, army, gendarme, and beat them. They don't move them for all kind side. They carry them. They send them for the great state of FACO. That's what we hear. Say they don't pack their army, police, gendarme. And most of them, they don't put them now for civilian clothes. May they hide within the population. We want to tell them, even if they go bring now the entire land of Satan, even if they go now for Satan, he land, even if they go now for hellfire, They go borrow all the demons. And Satan is soldier them. They carry them, they bring them. For inside Amazonia, we go still defeat Pobia. We go still defeat La République du Cameroon. They don't try them in the past. They go bring French army them. Bring them in Owaka. They go borrow army for Chad. They borrow army for Equatorial Guinea, for Congo. They add them inside. In no still Waka. 4 years after, we don't wahala Pobia, show it on team. Saute for their own television, their own Minister of Defense. He accept them. He said just for the last few months, the fight, he don't make 637 of their army, police, gendarme, and B. They run fight. They run. They just run Amazonia. They abandon Pobia, abandon army, abandon B, abandon police, abandon gendarme. They run. They just run. That one, according to Cameroon Minister of Defense, they run 637. They run fight. They disappear. Then they talk say 1,000 of their army, police, gendarme, and B. Where Amazonia don't scatter their food, it scatter their hand, it scatter their face, it scatter their chest, but they not die. They did for hospital, for Douala, for Lakantini. They don't take the entire Lakantini, one section, they turn them for military hospital. For treat the one the way they don't bull Amazonian forces, they don't scatter their food them, scatter their hand. 1,000 of them. They did for hospital. This one, now according to La République du Cameroon, their government, their own report. Or when I don't watch the video, we come up for CRO TV. Now today, I want to give now good news. Some of you don't already hear. For the city of for the today, now where there are 3 colonial beat them. They don't go. She don't for some place say that the one be security people them. For keep eye for place where they say Brazaris Mimbo. For the big place when I forget that they divide people that they call them Brazaris Depot. Now for they all Mimbo they come out and then they go sell them for small town them. And then they go sell them for bar them. Now we the 3 of them they don't go she don't for them. Probably I don't go put them there. He said me they make sure say they sell me Brazaris Mimbo for Amazonia. Now we they want them. The community, Ambazonians, they don't see them. Now we boys, forces they come out. They don't, okay. They say now I want to keep Ambazonia under occupation. Now. So now they go about killing Ambazonians. If not so, okay. Now this. Now the forces they just come out. They take them. Bam. 3 one time for Muyuka. 3 of them one time. They just finished them. 3 for Muyoka. This one, it bring me for place we day. As we be the talker, any place where you see La République police, La République gendarme, La République army, La République B, any place where you see any of them, any place where the day, may you know say the day for day, now for kill Ambazonians. So therefore, they be a direct target for any place, whether they chop now for restaurant, they dinner for market, they dinner for some corner, they drink nimbo, any place, whether now for village, any village where they enter, any town, when I take them down, any place. News on come up for the state of Bui. For waiting the behavior the kind training, the kind education with the leadership of Ambazonia Defense Forces, it don't give the forces them. Video don't come out. About 2 months ago, we hear say the forces them for Bui. They are closed around the all. Because when I remember, these boys, they don't fight for 4 years. As they stay for camps, far from their families. They are closed around the tier. Now ADF leadership, he say, we get for care for our forces. Now, one of the core things in that for ADF, the well-being of the forces. Because if we not care for the forces, how the female get the spirit, the motivation, and the energy for fight and protect and defend the people them. So we got for care for their well-being. The people then within ADF and AGovC, they start for put money together. Put money together. Put money together. For make sure say the Ambazonia Defense Forces for the great state of Bui. They did for better their health. They are even themselves for get close to where them. Even if they stay for bush, may they get close to where them. May they feel good. May they look good. They look clean. For their own well-being. They find for their own spirit. They find for give them their own confidence too. Now when they put money. The Senate may they buy clothes for all the forces them. Now when they don't buy these clothes, the clothes they enter now for one camp. I want to watch this video. I'm going to see something where they call and say ADF. When I watch this video, when I go carry when I see the kind structure where they don't build them for within Ambazonia and the leadership where the forces, the leadership where they for ground. When I watch this video, when I watch.
Me and Pastor Secretary, so we don't receive the material. As we receive them now, we don't distribute them the way it's supposed to be. So if you see the placard where we write them, so now so come the day where they be necessary now for shady closing with them. So if you see now Commander Yellow from Jakiri. So now on this, then if you see the one Commander Riwan, now on this. So if you see to the one King Ebube, that is General Ebube. We see the one General Capo. So you see now the one General Hassan for the model base. So we don't make them so for distribute and so we go all around for all and get them. So when they go to come now, anytime where they enter for here, they just pick their anytime where they enter, they just pick their on the go. So now so that masses them too, they will not distribute as we do. So I know say we not be make them.
My fellow Ambazonians, from this video when I watch them, when I feel see the selflessness, when I feel see the unity with them among our forces, when I feel see the leadership with them among our forces, when I see all these clothes, they don't enter now for one of the camps. The camp we go pick up the clothes them. You know, carry all the clothes them. It talks say as this clothes they come not only for we, now we go carry the clothes them. Now all not only for we. They take the clothes them. They divide the clothes them for 6 brigades. They divide them for this brigade, 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 for all man. All man. When I see the kind leadership, now the importance of education, this, now the importance of for provide better training and better mindset for forces them. Now the importance this. For provide oneness among forces. Now the attitude this way make ADF. No man, no, they not be fit for call for some man, and then some person go tell them, oh, when I do so. They just know them. They know what to be right. The notion of all them. Now wait to make the ADF this. And so from this one, if we see the kind country we'll go get them. If we see the kind future we'll go get them. If we see how our society do already change from La République du Cameroon greed. Even the forces, the new behavior of Ambazonia do already be for their heart. So when something come for all man, now for divide them, make all man, it take it own. Therefore, all man, it go benefit all man, and all man go feel very good. May not be say something enter, and then it can make instead it make the forces. Excuse me. May not be that say something enter, and then it can turn something it's supposed to bless all man. It instead can turn as something where it go make all the forces they start to fight one another, because something become it's supposed to be an all man, and then one group of the forces they take them, and then all the other one they remain without it. This one they show we the change in mentality, the change in attitude, the change in behavior, which did happen for ground zero. This was war of independence. It don't bring back to the Ambazonian people their real character, their real nature, who would truly be. So I want to take this time for thank the overall ground commander, Mama Wally, when I did lead, when I did take care of all the forces for this initiative, for make sure say they take care of the well-being of the forces, for make sure say our forces they get close to where them. They be well taken care of. Now we will be this as a people, and I want to thank all the people them within the Ambazonia Defense Forces and Ambazonia Governing Council from within for raise all this money and buy this picking them, this clothes, all this one. Now because we consider our forces as our brothers, our sisters them, our uncle them, our auntie them, as we consider them as our families. That's why we need to take care of them as our family members, as our citizens, as our hero. Now make we move for the real talk. We really actually bring me today. And yes, some person they talk say, hey, I say PS. Now you don't make now don't blink sweater now. Yes, don't blink sweater don't come. Winter don't come. Canada the cold. So PS get for stay warm. And we'll get for be very stylish. For carry the revolution for heart. Yes, so now they don't blink sweater this. It just come today. Now the new model will just come today. Now in that, don't blink sweater don't come. We know they see more. So, what really we need for know all we na say, this was war of independence. Now a collective resistance. Now a collective resistance. Any person where the born where you be an Ambazonian, any person where you be a Southern Cameroonian, any person, your papa, your mommy, your brother, your sister, they born you, one of your parents, they come out Ambazonian. Or your big papa or your big mommy, they come out Ambazonian. You be an Ambazonian. Any person will get an Ambazonian connection for blood, you be an Ambazonian. Whether they born you for America or they born you for Australia, whether they are big papa become an Ambazonian, you be an Ambazonian. So, our war of independence and collective resistance, we get 3 segments of our population. We make up all this war of independence. The first one, now the general population for ground zero. What people them for ground zero. Now the grassroots movement. All we do for here, we advocate, we speak. All the thing we do now for the benefit of the collective Ambazonian people them. Primarily, what people them for ground zero, for the territory. The 8 million Ambazonians. They fight now for their well-being, now for the freedom of our people then. So the first block for this collective resistance, now the general population, it be very crucial. Every Ambazonian, this war of independence, now for you. This freedom, now for you. So any man get their own part for play. And the way where people, they don't demonstrate their part for this war of independence. Collective goes down every Monday, what people don't do them since 2016. All our business people then, they don't observe this collective goes down. The civil servants, the way they work for the colonial state, they observe goes down. It be very critical. Number 2, the colonial school boycott. Now the people, they execute them for reject Cameroon colonial schooling system will be imposed on our people, and they embraced Ambazonia community education. Now collective resistance there. When leadership it called for temporary lockdown, now our people for ground zero, they enforce them, they respect them, they carry them out. Collective resistance. Now, within our population, you get what they call and say defense forces. What boys, what brothers them, what sister them, what uncle them, what auntie them. When then they carry the guns. Now then they do the active fighting. The general population now for resist la Republic. What defense forces, their goal now for defend the population. Their goal now for do the armed resistance. The population they do the civil resistance, civil disobedience. All right, or which they call and say peaceful resistance. The armed forces, the defense groups, then they do not armed resistance. They go for challenge the occupation. They go for challenge la Republic police, gendarme be an army. That part of our population, it be as important as our general population. Without the defense groups, this thing go don't die. Now our defense forces, now then they keep the resistance, may continue for go. The ghost town they be important, the colonial school boycott they be important. Now the guns and the bullet, the people that they do the actual fighting, now them they did lead the liberation. The population they follow them for back. Our population, their goal now for provide intelligence to the defense forces. Their goal now for make sure say that they did for the back of our defense forces for do the hard work for them collectively. It be very important. There is no separation between the population and the forces. Our population and the forces now one. There is no such thing as amber boys and then the population. Our forces now the population now our forces. Now one fight, one people, one fight, one goal, one aim, one future. We all. The population now the fighters. The fighters now the population. Collective. No separation. No day between our population and the fighters and the population. There's no separation. Now one unit. One. And the say the colonial state, it try for separate the population from the forces. As like say the population not be the forces, not be part of the population, and the population not be part of the forces. Now lie. Make una know this. The population and the forces now one. All we the fight now one fight. We get one aim and we go for one direction. While forces they did lead the way. The population they follow for back for the armed resistance. Now they forces them now. They get the power for protect, defend what people them. Now the forces. Now the Republic, it don't lose the war because of the forces. The international community, they speak today, now because of the forces. And they speak because of the forces on behalf of all Ambazonians them. The forces that they fight now for all Ambazonians them, irrespective of your block we did it, irrespective of your district, irrespective of your state. Every Ambazonian we woke up, a carry gun for fight. It do am for all man. It do am for all we. Now the place that we did. Number 3, the populate Ambazonians for diaspora. All Ambazonians they were outside the territory. When they talk say diaspora, Mona not thinks only Canada, America, England, France, Australia, Germany. No. Diaspora include Nigeria. Diaspora include Ghana. Any Ambazonians, as long as you know they within Ambazonia, you don't have for diaspora. So most of man don't lie, you say diaspora. Now only some person there for America. No. Any man who don't come out the territory, you didn't have for diaspora. So Ambazonians them all across the globe. Now part of the Ambazonian collective resistance. Me, I be part of the resistance. Capo Daniel, na part of the resistance. Alright? Big brother Sheikh Kavi, na part of the resistance. Mami Woli, na part of the resistance. Sister Cecilia Amabo, na part of the resistance. Mami B, na part of the resistance. Erika Zaria, na part of the resistance. Nemo Brownie, all were sister them, all were mami them. Mami Biana with the can't educate. All man, na part of the resistance. All Ambazonians, they were there for diaspora. Were voice. Now for use place who they for throw away light, for make the world a year what did happen for Ambazonia. Because Paul Bia, it don't block, make international journalists. They not can tell the story. Say Paul Bia, the born people them alive. Say Paul Bia, it kill picking them. Say Paul Bia, the born big man them alive. Say Paul Bia, the born villages. Paul Bia no one made the world hear this story. Paul Bia no one hear no one made the world know the genocide we commit for Amazonia. So we for diaspora, our goal now for take what did happen for ground zero and then show them for the international community. Say that the crimes and this we Paul Bia, the genocide, the 90-year-old moron of La République du Cameroon. Now the atrocities and this, now the war crimes this, now the crimes against humanity this, now the crimes against Ambazonian people and this way, Paul Bia the commit them for Ambazonia. Now I work that. Now for tell the story, say Ambazonia and Cameroon, now 2 different countries. Cameroon claim say Ambazonia is their country, but in reality, Ambazonia and Cameroon, no relationship ever exists. They not sign any book. The book where they supposed to sign them. For say they live together. They not be ever signed that book. The conference is where they supposed to hold up. For discuss how they go shit on. They create the arrangement. For say they come together as 2 states. They live side by side. They never ever sign them. They not ever talk them. Their presence on Ambazonia now an act of occupation and colonialism. So we go for diaspora. Now for educate the international community and get the international community for get involved. Not be only for the human rights abuses where they happen, but now for make sure say they hold the colonial dictator of Cameroon accountable for all Ambazonia the way they don't kill him. For hold Diangote accountable for all Ambazonia the way they don't kill him. For hold Atanganji Paul responsible for all Ambazonia, for whole Okala Bilai, for whole Lele L'Afrique, all the people them when they command the army, the police, the gendarme, the B, all them. Now for make sure say we they out here now for put pressure for the international system for hold these people accountable for the war where they declare them on the Ambazonian people them, for the 500 villages where they don't burn them, for the 20,000+ Ambazonians where they don't kill them, for the human rights abuses and atrocities with their army of terrorism and occupation that they commit for Ambazonia. Now I work that. Secondly, we also there like the voice of the people them. Probably don't block our people them and enough speak. We speak on behalf of our people them. We represent the hopes, the aspiration, the dreams, the wishes of which our people they want them. So we speak on their behalf. So we and Ground Zero will be one. Just like the forces and the population will be one. Ambazonia community for diaspora and Ambazonia for Ground Zero. Now one people. Now one. Now one people. We fight, one common enemy. That's why we channel our energy for one direction. Diaspora now for mobilize the resources for the war. Because we know say if our people they want to do the mobilization of resources for Ground Zero, most of them will be end up in prison. Cameroon go kill most of our people then. So who would they for diaspora? Now for mobilize the resources for the liberation. Now for do the donations of money for the fundraising. And then we channel them effectively for convert the commitment, the financial commitment. All the money where we gather them. Now for convert them into arms, into bullets, into guns, into all the materials where they go defend our people them, protect our people them, and therefore defend the liberation of Ambazonia. The diaspora work also. Now for do the diplomacy. Now for talk with Canada, talk with America, talk with the United Nations. So we don't constitute ourselves for act as the voice of our people them, for represent our people, their hopes, their dreams, for talk the case and the injustice, for talk with the European Union. So that's why now the purpose of the diaspora is for put our people them together, constitute ourselves for legitimate groups where they reflect the interest of our people them and therefore defend those interests for the international arena. That the work of diaspora is. And that's why you don't see movements. They don't come up for speak on behalf of the Ambazonian people. Some of them, they be infiltrated by Pobia. Now Pobia create some of them. Some of the activists where they speak for Ambazonia. They speak now for Pobia, for destroy Ambazonia. Some of the movement them, Pobia don't take over those movements. They control those people. Those people, they speak now for Pobia. For make sure say the revolution fail. So now part of the game. That's why we get for be smart. That's why every Ambazonian get for be educated. For make the distinction between a group, a movement, where it truly they fight for the independence of Ambazonia, and the fake want them, the thief want them, the conny want them. When they do now the work, they probably the tea work. Make the war no work a fine. Make confusion continue for be amongst Ambazonia. Make Ambazonia they continue for fight each other. So we also that's why we also there for educate our people them, for take one group, examine them, which will be their work, which result they don't produce them, that they do not conny, that they work with Pobia, any work with Pobia, all these things them. Our goal now for do the research and then can tell our people them the truth. So that Ground Zero also know the truth of what did happen for outside here. The same thing they happen for Ground Zero. At times you don't create some of your own number boys. Dion Good, they don't create your own number boys. Okala Bilai, they don't create their own number boys. Tambetando don't create their own number boys on behalf of Cameroon. All we need for know the game. Because Cameroon they try for protecting interests. Make we fail so that Ambazonia they continue for be under Cameroon occupation. Because without Ambazonia, Cameroon no fit exist as a state. the general population on ground zero, the defense forces, and the Ambazonian population for diaspora will be one people. Will be one. Make some man not tell you, say, oh, the diaspora. No, the diaspora, Ambazonian diaspora community, now part of ground zero. All we fight for one thing. All. The freedom of Ambazonia, now our collective freedom for all we. Because we don't challenge Paul Biya occupation, we don't challenge their fraudulent union, or we will do for exile. So until Ambazonia be free, no man be free. Until Ambazonia be free, none of we be free. Not even the people there that work for Paul Biya, none of them, even them not be free. That's why we must succeed. That's why amongst us, we must identify all the people where they work for Paul Biya and expose them. Just as we need to do for ground zero. All the black legs, all the enablers, all the traitors. Some of them, when I don't see their faces outside, Nambere and Success and Kongo, that one them now, they don't become very obvious. The Agbabalas, that one they don't become very obvious. Alright? The Edith Kawala, the Nijon Frundi, all that one then they don't become very obvious for place where they stand. Alright? Then they did now the colonial state. Very easy. Then they support the colonial state because they chop and benefit from the colonial state. The 99% of Ambazonian them, this independent, now for benefit them. This was liberation, now for make they get a life, may they get hopes, may they get opportunity, and may they also taste what it mean for live for a free society. This war now for 99% of all the Ambazonians them, where they don't suffer since 1961. Where they don't live under poverty since 1961. Where they need for bribe, even for breathe air. Now for that 99% of the population. The 1% of the population, they call them elites. All the one them, they be blacklisted. All the one them, now the enablers and that. Now the people that way, they want to make Ambazonia remain under occupation. And now the people then that, where they talk say, oh, Amba boys, for try for divide diaspora from the ground zero. They try for divide the fighters from the population. Cause all this confusion. No, all will be one. One common enemy. So I want to make this thing clear. Because every Ambazonian now a soldier of the revolution. Whether it be big mommy, or it be big papa, or it be uncle, or it be auntie, or it be boy, or it be girl, or it be pikin. You be a soldier of the liberation. Any man. And therefore, you get a responsibility for defend homeland by any means necessary. You get a responsibility now for your own liberation. Now a collective resistance. You be as powerful, as useful as the soldier will carry gun. Any place where Cameroon army, police and gendarme, that community, it get a responsibility for eliminate them. Any place, Cameroon police, army, gendarme, the community, it get a responsibility for eliminate them from my territory. There be a threat to the existence of our people them. Now Cameroon police, army, gendarme, and now them they don't give them they don't give them the power for kill without any question. Whether picking them for womb and they go kill them, probably I don't give them that power. So we also, by natural right, your right given to you by nature, for defend yourself, for protect yourself, and also for wipe out anything where it be a threat to your own existence. You get the moral responsibility. You get the natural right for eliminate anything where it be a threat to your existence. And now 4 things they be a direct threat to the existence of the Ambazonian people then. Cameroon police, Cameroon gendarme, Cameroon army, Cameroon B. These 4 now the first existential threat to the Ambazonian people. Their police, gendarme, B and army, any place from Ambazonia, whether not for road, we now wipe them out by any means necessary. No safe place for any of them for our land. No safe place. Now they be responsible for crimes against humanity. They be responsible for the genocide. Now they be responsible for the terrorism. Now they be responsible for the 20-something thousand Ambazonians so they don't die. Now they be responsible. Without their army of occupation, there will be no Cameroon occupation of Ambazonia. Without Cameroon army of occupation, there will be no Cameroon occupation of Ambazonia. That's why now the first essential target that and that the work that with General Ivo start down for challenge them, for start for take them down. The only reason where Cameroon it be able for occupy Ambazonia now because he build an army. And they build that army now for use them for suppress and repress the Ambazonian people. Now their army be their tool, their primary tool of occupation. And for end Cameroon occupation of Ambazonia, we must increase our defense capacity. For we, as the leader talked yesterday, for protect the Ambazonian people them and give them the minimum protection where they need them, we need for massively increase our defense capability. Massively. We must match them bullet by bullet, gun by gun, punch by punch, kick by kick, explosive versus explosive. Now the generation this. We no go do politics with Pobia. We no go do politics with a brutal regime. Not be talk, now action. And that's why the leadership of Governing Council of Ambazonia, it don't build a good force for the Ambazonian people, the Ambazonian Defense Forces. Over the last 4 years, they don't become very powerful. We don't achieve a lot as a people. We don't achieve a lot more. We don't achieve a lot more, if not of the mistakes them, where we leave them, we make them. Ambazonia for don't go very far. Paul Biya and Cameroon for don't pack out of Ambazonia. They for don't pack. We don't learn from those mistakes. That's why the leader now, the Governing Council of Ambazonia, it don't launch the new vision for 2021. For the successes who don't achieve them. For what you get them for ground and what you don't achieve them. We need to move to the next level for start taking full control of the ground. For make our people they start to get a taste of their own freedom, their own power, their own victories, and their own successes. That's why they did launch on the stabilization force. That's why in the last 2 months and 3 weeks, all una donations, they don't build na something incredible. Provide in 2 months and 3 weeks, they provide 75 high power automatic rifles, from the M magazine to Gs to AK, 75 of them for the special forces. Now the first phase of the special forces that, just the first phase that, as the general don't talk today, the game don't change. Now for a different level now, ground zero day. Now for a different level, totally different level. The game don't change. A different tactics and strategy. Now about dominance and projection of power. The stabilization force of the Ambazonia Defense Forces, when the special forces for America Army, they get something where they call and say the special forces. The first one. Now the one way he come out from Afghanistan, he enter inside Pakistan, kill Osama. That one, they call and say Navy SEALs. Then they get another one, when a part of their special commandos them too. They call and say the Green Beret. Now army them where they are cap, now that cap them, where they wear them, they green. They be very bad. They be very deadly. So within the special forces of the specialized force of the stabilization force, you go get that elite forces them. They be very bad. Now an assault force, they go to carry very deadly operations. Very deadly operations. Una be ready. A different game. The Ambazonia Defense Forces, it want change the game for the Ambazonian people them. They want show who will be as a people. How intelligent and organized and strategic would they think and would they work. Once you know the game, you get for align yourself with a strategy. We go for give you victory. 2 things we need for doing. Project power for ground zero. For our people them, for give our people them confidence and belief for the liberation. And for increase their resistance, their determination, and their resilience. If you not project power for ground zero, the population will become doubtful. Cameroon, they put a lot of things for our population on their head. You must project something where you go move all that Cameroon, their jama for our people, their head. When our people, they see our forces, they see their own army, they see the power, they see the structure, they see the size, and they see their weapons. Every person for this world, it want for move forward. It want something where it give progress. People, they want progress. Now progress, they make people them happy. You see, La Republique need to progress. La Republique people, they be so depressed and frustrated. Now because there's no progress for their society. Ambazonians will be so determined. Now because we will progress. I be happy because I see every day the progress. So I be optimistic. I be positive. I be confident because we make a lot of progress. We need to translate that progress for ground zero. Make our people they taste them, make they see them, especially for the liberated communities. The general did now, they build school, they build hospital. Yes. General F and they build clinic. And they build hospital for liberated communities. Yes. They build them. Life they go on normal. People People that they enjoy. People that they live in peace. Things that they boom for liberated communities. So we need for trust. We need to do those two things. Increase the power for ground zero, and then massively launch a diplomatic offensive missions when the thing that the leadership be doing. Without the power for ground zero, diplomacy be useless. Until we project total dominance and power for project ground zero, diplomacy be totally useless. It be totally useless. It be totally useless.
Yeah. The special battalion in this.
I just tease una. I just tease una. I just said that one not teasing. I just tease una. Any my eye not be catch, I'm sorry. I just tease una. ADM need to play. That one so not just teasing. I just that one not just teasing. Oh, Doctor, but don't tell now. Now total dominance and power for ground zero. All right. So when a general F and go can launch on a force. Say show we. When I did so, not be a tell when I say when I like fighting. FPS, why not leave me play? Show we. When I these people. Oh, when I tell you, I'm not saying when I like fighting. When I go see him, when a general go come launch when a special forces for make all we feel powerful, for make all we feel good, for make all we know say they say now head ahead. There's no blinking. We move ahead. We make a lot of progress. We set the standard of how ground zero get for be. We set the standard of how we get for lead our people then. We set the standard and one build an Ambazonian national army. We build them, the National Liberation Army. So the ADF now already the National Liberation Army. We want transform them now. We go see them. We go see them with our eye. I say all money had go sweet. Now so when I just see a small flash. All money had go over sweet. All right. So we understand. We need for make ground zero me feel powerful. Powerful. The international community never say we project power for ground. Total dominance. Total dominance. The one that phase 1 days of the launch. All right. So I think when I plan to say when I don't take the time for join with for today for today's discussion, I'll be very grateful. When I sabi say a day for a mission for the Operation 10,000 AK seats. Operation 10,000 AK seats. Operation 10,000 AK seats. Now an assault force we can't give now the best of the best. All right. These forces they go to battle la République du Cameroon. We go to take out their police station, gendarme, and be everything from Ambazonia. We go to take them out. So, we not be excited. Any man will never contact me for give a bullet. Oh, I just tell you this story. Before one come online, one of our comrade, a very good guy, another comrade become VCT, and then he say, PS. Ma call you for video. I say, yes, call me for video. Are they for place where you feel call me for video? He call me for video. He say, see, now we do this. He say, now we do this. We just discuss now what you be the talk about Operation 10,000 bullets. So the comrade don't come for here. We go make a small barbecue. We chop. He tell me how they really love the war where ADF they do and how they don't look around. They realize and say, if ADF not there, ground zero, the revolution don't fail. So them now, anything now about ADF and AGovC, because they don't, after 4 years, they don't put their money on plenty places and they never see no results. Instead, they see the work of the ADF and AGovC. So I call my brother, may come. Make me and you don't story. And they put their $100. Before I want come, so they call me for video. They put $100. That boy, the other brother moved $100 to a pocket, they count them. It's a PS. I did for American, my $100 is. The other one count and $100 is they put them. It's a PS. $200. Now how many bullets? I say, of course, now 100 bullets. They say, okay, PS. now 100 bullets than this. All right. So I want to thank our two brother then. We all man with the answer the call. We thank all man, our brother for last side where you send money for 500 bullet. Yes. The brother will send money for 500 bullet. He talks for waiting like the public do am for our people them for Mao too. For waiting like the public do am. Our brother waiting for some country for Africa. We send money for 500 bullets. That brother talks for waiting like the public do am. For the killing of our picking them for Mao too. For the killing of our mommy them for Mao too. Our brother them and our sister them for Mao too. He say must put another 500 bullets. What here? That thing for Mao to touch it. He say PS, I must send another 500 bullets to the ADF. May they take these guys out. Now the commitment that. So any man where you never contact me for your bullets or Operation 10,000 bullets, get excited. No wait until General F and can launch the special forces. Una no wait. I don't just give una a small taste. Una just see them for 2 seconds. Una no wait. Una get excited. ADF, na the hope for Ambazonia. Una remember, na for all we. Irrespective of what you be believing in the past. That one not matter anymore. Now the future, now it matter. Irrespective of the disagreement, where you be disagree in the past, that one no matter anymore. Now the future. Now 2021. Now for do it the work. Now for follow the strategy, the roadmap. Now for go for place where they produce results or ground zero. And for put your money for place where you say, I give my $1, I give my $2, that they buy 1 bullet. I give my $10, that they buy 5 bullets. You give your $2,000, say guarantee 1 AK a day. So. The people they want buy RPG, the day, we know how much it cost. The people they want buy now the head for the RPG, we know how much it cost. Say when you donate, the results day, they show you results. Alright? So, wanna be hopeful. Ground zero, wanna be proud. Any place where you day, feel good as an Ambazonian. For what ADF the bill and for all man. Now for all Ambazonian them. ADF, now the forces for all man. Even the one the way they disagree with we. Even the one the way they fight for ADF, where they fight ADF. Now ADF go still liberate them. ADF now for all man. Whether you disagree or you agree. ADF na your force. So you not fit fight yourself. And you not fit defeat yourself. That's why ADF, it remain what it remain. Now they hope for the Ambazonian people them. Oh, Sesekwe IG, ADF now for them too. For all the other movement them. The people them for SCNC, ADF now una force. The people them for Power Gojidinka organization. Like our brother the other day. He sent money from Power Gojidinka, one of their representatives. He sent money for the Operation 10,000 bullets. And a Kochi Cafe, that one too, ADF na their force. ADF na the force for all man. Whether una call una self Southern Cameroon, European women, or ADF na una force. At the end of the day, una get for embrace them. Because na the only hope for the Ambazonian people there. All these small politics for outside here, it go die. It go die. All man go rally. Now for ADF, now without the guns and bullets, there is no war of independence. People for the fit talk, they go down. At the end of the day, now the ADF go remain the supreme force, the dominant force. Now the one way go stand for all Ambazonia them. So now just better follow them, embrace them, because it do the right thing. It roadmap fine. It's strategy, the work. Their forces for ground. That they show the results. All right? Now for all we. When you hear the name ADF, may your heart sweet. Now for all man. ADF, they bring good news to the Ambazonian people there. ADF now for all we. ADF now for Sisiku, for Patasang, Mancho BBC, all Penn Terrence, all the way they did prison. ADF now their force. Whether they believe for guns or they not believe for guns, ADF now their army. Now I go liberate all man. All right? Whether people they play politics outside here or not, ADF go liberate all man. Whether it be Boki or it be Bayangi, whether you come on for Northern Aqua, you come on for Southern Aqua, whether you come on Imojoko or you come on for Kumbao, whether you come on for Kumbo or you come on for Ngokechunja, whether you come on for Lebialem, ADF now for all man. It go liberate now for all man. All the fighters for ground zero. Una papa na ADF. Una mami na ADF. Without ADF, all the other small group, then they for don't scatter. Now the ADF be the umbrella for all the defense forces then. And a blessing for all we. A blessing. ADF na a blessing. We will continue our communication tomorrow. We will continue our discussion tomorrow. As hope say, as always, make all the forces them. The general don't talk. We now work together. We now work together. Now for our own survival. When no one work together, ADF go leave all man behind. If no one work together, if we leave ourselves to be manipulated, now we go lost. Because ADF they move ahead. With his size, if he do him on his own, but he go find me all we do him because he go reduce the burden for all man, and he go quicken the journey for all we. All right, and I talk that for today. As always, we'll be one people with one common enemy, and we'll get one single objective and destination: the collective liberation of Ambazonia. Now our primary collective objective that for all we. For all our brothers they did for prison, we'll bless una and we'll send una love. All our people them, when are refugees, we'll bless una and we'll send una love. We'll make a lot of progress for all we. Una whole heart. This one will go winner. This generation, it go end the occupation and liberate the land. May God bless all man. Una get a good night. Any person, if you send me Facebook message or contact me for your operation 10,000 bullets, if you send me message or WhatsApp, my number there for directly for reach out to me. I'll be available for answer any questions, give any clarity. I'll also be available for talk with any commander on the ground who truly want fight for Ambazonia War of Independence and you want to make your own contribution. For connect you with the leadership of the ADF, we want to discuss how your block, if you collaborate and how they feel assist una with training, leadership, and possibly at a certain point if you provide una with the materials we una need them for liberate homeland. For now, every person, no matter place where they, you be a soldier of the revolution. Rise up, defend Ambazonia. For una rise up, una defend FACO, and una make sure say nothing in the name of African Nations Cup Championship. It take place for the block of FACO. All forces them for FACO. All forces them across Ambazonia. If we need for go for FACO, go help the forces them. When I get the means, when I enter FACO, when I make sure say ground zero is shake, Ambazonia integrity it be defended. When I get a good night.
Hello.